Question number 2. What or where is your safe creative space? Who can you be your whole self with without judgment?
It has to be the family. I'm the eldest in my family. I'm the eldest of everything. I'm the eldest daughter. I'm the eldest niece. I'm the eldest granddaughter. I'm the eldest. Mm-hmm. So I just find that I don't have a specific place, but I do have specific moments and when I was younger, it used to be just quiet time. It used to be just a moment where I needed my headspace. And it's funny how, I mean, this is really fickle by nature, but I used to, people say colouring in is therapeutic. And I used to find dot to dot therapeutic. I used to find, you get these I don't know, I might just be older in the room, but I used to get bumper packs of like activity books, and I would be naughty in a sense of going in and trying to make the bumper pack all dot to dot packs and trying, but I used to find comfort in that. And it's funny how now I've gone to market with my Paola Lucktung consultancy as connecting the dots, but I used to find comfort in that dot to dot alignment. That was when I was younger. And as I got older and through process of having children, I never had anywhere to go. You're in the bath and they're calling you. You're on the toilet and they're calling you. It was just, there was no space, no escape. And I just promised myself moments of when I get up every morning, I give myself time for me, whether it's an escape time, whether it's 15 minutes, whether it's an hour, whether it's 2 hours, but there's always a moment in the day that I collect my thoughts and I gather my feelings and I find a space that becomes that temporary place for me.
Do you think mothers, creative mothers especially, find it harder to be able to share what they're feeling with others who don't have children? Because I feel like there's a pressure on you as being a creative, but also...
I think I've always had a really good surrounding between my peers and knowing, I kind of had children at a sort of a midway line. I've got girlfriends that had kids when we were at school, and I'm godmother to like 25-year-olds. And then I kind of had my first at 26, and then I've got friends that still don't have children in their mid-40s and are living life. So I've always had a really good mix of people that are just open and honest to the understanding, and I've never held back. I've never held back in terms of motherhood. I was the first going into like a corporate environment for a long time that had a child at home and lived within this independent world of male-female domination of where children were like literally silence in the room. Like I would go in and I'd find, oh damn, I've spoken about my children 5 minutes too much because I've lost everybody in the room talking about what my son did last night and how he kept me up till whenever. And I feel the enthusiasm for about 2 seconds, and literally by minute 7, everyone's left me in the room. They're either looking at their phones, or they'll change the subject, or they're looking at the ceiling, or they're rolling their eyes blatantly and rudely. But I always draw them back, and I would always pull people up, and I would always make them understand that I'm no worse off, or I'm no less boring. And when I left, so after 20 years of service, there were a lot of people there that came up in rank, the intern legacies, and they were now having children. And we had lots of side chats because I was the one that they went to when they needed to understand what this motherhood situation looked like, whether it was with a partner or without a partner. So no, I don't think creatively people don't know how to react to the conversations of motherhood. I just think it depends on the audience that you want to be fearless enough to talk about. It's kind of when you're a mother, you need to stand proud from the minute they come flying out, because literally my children came like childbearing hips, they came flying out. So I stood proud for the moment that they came flying out. Sorry.
Thank you. Too much information.
My safe space, I'm with you too. It's with family. I moved around a lot as a child. I was born in Berlin. I lived in India. I went to an American school. I moved to the UK. So, like, home is a weird concept for me because I'm not quite sure where home is. Like, growing up in Germany as an Indian family was tough. You know, going to India, not 100%. My Tamil is pretty crap. You know, not speaking the language that fluently is tough. Coming here, not knowing the culture, all the TV shows that you all grew up with is tough too, you know? So, like, home for me definitely isn't a place, but it's, you know, it's just coming home to my sister and just chilling, or my parents or whatever, you know, and that's so important to me, and I feel so fortunate and blessed that I have it, because I know a lot of people don't even have that. Do you know what I mean? For me, because I think part of, in the job, like being a creative person, whatever, a lot of time we have to put on these masks of like being like super successful. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like, so every day in my studio I have people that I don't know come in, and I can't be like, I'm really scared, I'm really shy, I don't even know if I'm any good, da, da, da. I can't do that, because I've got a team and we need to get them numbers in. Do you know what I mean? So I have to like dig really deep and find my confidence and put on that, not that it's a mask, because it's in there, but it's nice to come home and not have to be that. Do you know what I mean? So that's my safe space, the fam.
My safe space, I would say, is probably my room. I don't know why, because I think that's, when I think of like where I feel like I can be myself fully, it's my bedroom, and I've had so many battles with myself in my bedroom, you know. And now it's like, you know, the other question was like, who doesn't judge? How can you be? Where can you be your whole self? Where can I be my whole self? And I feel like I can be that in my room, because, you know, my family, I'm the only person in my family that's done the first of like many things. Like, none of my family have been outside of Europe. All my family are white and, you know, have straight hair. I've got curly hair. I've got colour in my skin, you know. Like, I'm like the first to do many things. And then one of the main things that I remember when I was younger, I used to always want to go to church. None of my family believe in God. None of them. So I used to be like, well, how am I going to make this vision come alive? Because, like, I see myself when I'm older with my husband and my kids, and we're going to church. Like, you know, that typical American stuff. Like, that's what I always envisioned. And it's been like maybe like 3 years now, and I kind of just got myself into church. I just watch church online. I haven't actually found a physical church that I like yet. Hook me up, I'm down. So like right now I watch a church, and I can't remember, Transformation Church, that's what I watch now, and I watch it on YouTube. And I watch that in my room. I've watched other churches in my room, so I feel like my safe space, creative space. Before I had my office, I only had my office for a month now, so before that I was in my room.
Do you think it's about finding faith for you, or community, as in the space, the church is in a space, a safe space?
I think at first it was more finding faith, like understanding. I remember the person that got me into church was one of my boys from Brooklyn, and we used to FaceTime and watch church online together, and he actually sent me a Bible over, like a proper thick, massive Bible, and it was like a training Bible, and it was beautiful, and he used to like teach me, because I was like, oh, how do you pray? He was like, you just talk to God. I was like, yeah, but how? Like, I don't know what to do. So it was like him, he got me into it. And I was looking for faith, because I think when you're a creative, it's just like you're constantly battling. Whether you're battling yourself, you're doubting yourself, you're battling entitlement, which is a big battle that I've dealt with. Looking back now, I've realised that I felt entitled, and really I didn't need to, because I wasn't there yet. To go in and be like, these people are sleeping on me. No, you just haven't done anything. That's it. Like, you ain't done nothing, so no one's talking about you. Like, just stay humble. Exactly. Like, I had to check myself. Yeah, I learned that from Gary V. I'm not gonna lie. Gary V put me in check. So yeah. Gary V, and there's another one of my other friends. He always puts me in check. So yeah, you have to have people around you that will put you in check, you know, because you'll be out here thinking, people are sleeping on me. No. So yeah, it was just a faith thing, really, because I'd be going through like mad depression, like too much, like it was way too much, and I'd be thinking, like, I don't even want to be here anymore. Like, why am I feeling like this? And it was a mixture of things. Obviously, it was a mixture of like work, like not having money and struggling, and also the other like battle of self-love and being accepted, and like relationships and stuff, because that's a big thing, relationships, because when you got that toxic energy around you and you're not loving yourself and you're just allowing bare stuff happening to you, like that's another big thing. So I felt like I actually went to a wedding in Turkey that I was shooting, and I remember seeing the whole wedding, and I remember they were just so in love with God, and I was just like, wow, like, not only do I want that relationship with another person when I get married, I want that relationship with God. And that's what really sparked it for me and really made me think, I'm just gonna learn. I don't know how, I'm just gonna try. And then, when you try something, when you want something, the universe will just make it happen. Like, they'll start, like, God, universe, whatever you want to call it, will start placing the people, the places, everything around you. And and then me and my room, there's a special bond there.
Thank you.
I think my safe space is my flat in Finsbury Park, which I love a lot, and my tribe, the women I surround myself with. I love Black women, and I just love us. And so I have a very strong, solid tribe that I can be a hot-ass mess, and they don't give a fuck.
I think I'd agree. I think I'd say that our flat is a safe space. I also think London, to me, is a safe space. I grew up in Norfolk, which is a predominantly white area as well, and went there, then went to University of Lincoln, and then went back to look after my mum. And over that transitional period of like being 18 to 21, found that I was really coming into my own, and likewise to Melody, I think, found that it was really difficult to see, well, there wasn't a reflection of myself. I was the only Black girl at school, and I was the only person for like 20-mile radius, it felt like, up until the next city, and that would only be because there was a Liverpool Street to Norwich line, and people would be travelling up and down. And I just found that when I first moved to London 6 years ago, it was really nice just to be able to walk down my street and at one point notice that people weren't staring at me. And I found that a really bizarre thing. I just noticed that they were looking at me because I was probably in their way, rather than being so overwhelmed that there was someone that they didn't recognise. Oh, thank you. So to me, that I can't explain what that felt like, but it just felt so... I think there's a quote, and I'm trying to remember it from Tim's, who I've been working with recently, his signature from Paddington Bear, which is something about everybody being different, which means that we're all the same. And that just just really resonated and made me feel exactly like that moment where I will never forget it. It was near my grandma's shop, and just walking down and just feeling like, this is home. This is what it's all about. And then the person that doesn't judge me, and I'm just going to be really soppy, but I'm not going to look at him, is that guy over there in the white shirt. And we've been, been together for 6 years, and the roller coaster through both of our lives and life's challenges that happen, and the challenge that we faced, when I was diagnosed with my illness, set us all off. And the fact that we're able to come through those challenges and grow together is really, really amazing. And equally, my favourite place is with my girls, and I think it's exactly like you say, it's just surrounding yourself with good people that work in a similar sort of way, capacity, no negative vibes, paying each other forward. That's my sort of like vibe. Thank you.
My safe space, I'm quite introverted, so I would say my safe space is in a book. And I think books are what I would call like cultural passports into other people's lives, into a different gender, into a different age, and they give you experiences that you would otherwise never have. So I feel like if you can't travel, then reading is your passport. And aside from that, I would probably, again, say, I can, maybe again, this is quite solitary, but I think the person that I feel most comfortable to be my absolute self with is probably to myself on a page. And then when you put that out, you might be judged, but I'm just unaware of the judgment. And so, yeah, I would say writing to myself is the space where I can be the most honest.
Thank you.
For me, my safe space is in nature. I've come to realize over the last few years that nature just heals me in a way that I haven't been able to heal before. Like, I've tried loads of things and nothing has really resonated with me the way that being in nature does. Where I live in Leighton, and there's a part of Epping Forest just at the end of my road.
We've been planning a date for a long time.
Yes, you need to come to my tree. I have a tree that I climb, and I sit in it. That's the
best part.
Misha's come to my tree. It's a beautiful tree. It's just green everywhere in the forest, and this one tree, I feel like it's a representation of me, because it's just, there's no leaves on it, it's not green, it's hella old, but it just is there firm.
Feels like home.
Yeah, and just rigid and strong, and so I climb it, I sit in it, and I meditate. And I just on Monday came back from a week in the New Forest, so I was just feeling overwhelmed by everything. So I deleted all social media off my phone, I deleted WhatsApp, I put my tent in my boot and I put my bike in the car, and I just drove by myself to New Forest and just sat there for a week, rode for hours and hours, wouldn't see another human. If you've never been, I'd highly recommend it. It's just hundreds of acres of green. And because it's not half term or summer holidays, it was really quiet on the campsite. And I just sat there and reflected life and did a lot of reading, went inwards. And I used to really hate my own company, because I used to think that the voice that was talking to me always seemed very detrimental. And then I learned to really listen to it and understand it and realize that it only wants the best for me. So that's been a journey of kind of listening to the voice inside and trusting it and being in nature. So the person that I think I can be 100% myself with is probably randomly my ex, who I met when I was 25, and we were together for 6-7 years. And but we've been, best friends since then. So he's been in my life 15 years, and he's the only person that ever believed in me in terms of when I was DJing, when I started out. He encouraged me, he helped me, he helped me buy equipment. He's just never judged me. He's seen me in all phases of my transition from the person I was at 25 to the person that I am now. And he's very happy in his new relationship. They've been together 3 years. It's all, we're just really, really good friends. And anything I say to him, I know that he always wants the best for me. So he's just a very, very unjudgmental person. So, yeah. Thank you, Gavin.
My safe space is, again, in nature. There's something so relaxing and so peaceful about being in the park. Like, most of the time when people are calling my phone or they can't get hold of me, I've taken my bike and I've ridden to the nearest park. Number two, my bike. Some people see me riding my bike and they pull the craziest faces. Some people smile. I can see them trying to laugh as well, because I ride my bike everywhere and anywhere, but I just feel so liberated. Like, some people feel liberated in their cars. Me, give me a bike, I'm good to go. My other place is at my grandma's house. My grandma is the one person in my life that shown me unconditional love. And whether that's her cussing me out, then making me...
But that's with love.
You know. So whether it's her cussing me out, then making me my favorite Saturday soup, or her... sat singing and me singing with her, that's a place where I feel I can just be myself. I feel at ease, and it's very therapeutic for me. Yeah, my safe space.
Thank you.
My safe space, I guess it's when I go to see my niece and nephew. My niece is 12 and my nephew's 7. I just like being around them. I nowadays cancel any nights out, or because my brother and his wife are not together, or ex, should I say. So we went through a whole drama where she wouldn't let us see us for 2 years, even though we were like super close. So now that they're back in our lives, or even back then, I kind of try and take as much time as I can to spend it with them, because they'll soon get to an age where they don't want to hang out with me anymore. Whereas at the moment they think I'm amazing. So I think it's just there's so much light and happiness around them, and they kind of, like you said, unconditional love without expecting anything. They just, you know, rather than me getting them toys or anything like that, they would much rather just, you know, me spend my time with them. So that's my favorite thing to do. Like most of the times, my friends are like, "Why are you coming out?" I'm like, "Sorry, I'm going to see the kids." Like, no, I'm not coming. And for the person that I can be, I don't think I'm ever 100% with anyone. Just because you might have noticed, I'm not a very emotional person, or I don't like to show emotion much. But my oldest friend, who I've been friends with since I was 7, we were friends in Kenya. I left when I was 12, and then she moved here 10 years later, and we were basically, it's like no time had passed. We were like just as close. We're more like sisters. She probably knows me the most. What's the word? I can't even speak now. The best, basically. And yeah, she's seen my worst side, and she'll basically just tell me to shut up, and we'll fight, and we'll be back to normal again. But yeah, that would be her. And that's me.
Getting used to it now.
I'm just going to say we've got like 15 minutes and I've still got one question, so...
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'll make it quick.
Just saying.
So, actually, I'm feeling at home. I went to Morocco this time last year, and I'm from Sierra Leone originally, and I kid you not, in my 32 years of life, I've never felt more at home just touching one little side of Africa, because I haven't been back home since I was about 8. And the kids, because it was me and my friend, who's the person, actually I'm going to say, who I'm at home with, and we both have sons, we're both single mums, and I kid you not, I went little piece home, and I'd never felt anything like it. And honest to God, I was like, I need to go back home. So when I meditate, so kind of what Melody was saying, when I meditate, my mum and dad actually have a garden, and I know they don't understand me, and bless them, they've also seen barriers kind of come from that, oh, I'm a single mum, I'm doing fine, to now it's like, you know, I'll go in the garden with a towel and a coat, because London don't know what it's doing more time, and I will sit there and meditate, and bless my son, he will come, like one time I was literally crying, I don't know what was going on, I was just cleansing, etc. My mum's cooking in the kitchen, looking over, making sure I'm not trying to do something to myself, and my dad's like taking the bins out really angrily to kind of make sure, like, I'm here, by the way, if you want any. And then my son literally joined me, had his coat on, a towel, sat there and held my hand. So between that and the grass itself, it's weird. I know you got a tree, I'm kind of jealous. And then my friend, who's also a single mum, who I will literally probably call as soon as I've left here, tell her I've been crying, tell her that I've been out in my business. It's just them. It's just them. Yeah, it's literally, I really want to go back home to Africa and be the queen I'm supposed to be, and keep meditating. Honest to God, that's my answer.
Okay, we've got 10 minutes, so quick time. 3 pieces of advice you'd like to share. There could be 1 words. 1 words would be great. 3 words, sorry.
3 words? No. Okay. Okay.
3 words, yeah? Think about it.
3 words? No.
Shall we come back to you, Paola?
No.
Shall we start back on this side?
Okay, no. But for business, network. Understand who you are, understand who you need to be, understand who you need to speak to. Because just be fearless in the ask. Network. For self, look after yourself first, because you cannot look after anybody else until you look after yourself first. And 3...
Quick time, yeah?
Know that we're here. Know that we are here, like mentors. I have mentors in every shape, size, colour, race, sex. I just have mentors in my life that guide me, that outside of my mother and father, you know, just be fearless in your arcs to have people around you.
Do mentors need to be the same age as you or older?
Never.
Because I think people are afraid to ask.
Where's Yui? Yo. Woo! I have my hashtag intern legacies. I am the person I am today in business because I've had and learned from my children every day. I learn from my interns. I'm a better human being for the people that have taught me coming up in rank, and I'm watching a lot of them shine now as I hand over the baton. No is the answer.
Thank you.
Okay, 3 words. I think the first one would be self-worth. Like, know that you're good enough. I spent so much of my life and my career comparing myself to other people and not feeling like I was good enough to be in the room. Like, and therefore being like, oh, I'm so grateful to be in this room. Oh my God, you're da-da-da-da-da. Like, no, bullshit. Like, I deserve to be in that room. And now I'm slowly learning that. And it just makes everything a lot more chilled for me. Just knowing like, I will get the job done because self-worth. I know I can do it, I'm good at my job. So self-worth, 1. Second, be nice. And it's not rocket science, man. Like, just don't be a douche, like be nice to people, be respectful to anybody, and don't look at statuses. I hate that, like just be cool to everyone you meet because we're all blessed to be alive, and just spread kind of, be good to people, and it'll come. You'll attract that energy, 100%. You'll attract that energy. That's the second, and the third one. I had something, but I forgot it. Also be punctual, be on time. It's another simple thing. I swear to God, I get a lot of my jobs just because people know that I'm going to deliver on time. I don't miss my deadlines. Simple. It's such a simple thing. But in the creative industries, like, I know we're all like, it's a crazy, we get a lot of stuff thrown at us, but if you can be consistent, it actually leads to paychecks, and we all like paying our rent.
Okay, first one, love yourself. Even if it takes you years to learn, you have to just unlearn what people have taught you, because more time they didn't even know what they were teaching you themselves. And it's not their fault. Second one, what's the second one? Be patient. Like, if you're chasing your dreams, it's not going to happen in a year. It's not going to happen in 2. You're looking at more like 10 years minimum. So you have to be patient. And then always remember, whatever room, whatever opportunity that you're placed in, you're supposed to be there. Don't ever doubt yourself. Don't think, why am I here? I can't do this. I can't do that. You're just put there for a reason, and own it.
Faith, determination, perseverance.
Well, patience, determination, gone.
Where do I fit in?
It's fine.
What was my other one going to be? I think my one was going to be courage. Because I think it takes a lot to get up every day. It takes a lot to put yourself on the line. It takes a lot to come up to somebody and have a conversation. It takes a lot to email or just come to an event that you're not necessarily sure that you're going to resonate with somebody. So I think courage is always like a really important thing because it comes up beneath you from somewhere. And because the other 2 have gone, I would say, it's like 2 together? Gut instinct. So, like, you really need to listen to it. I sometimes try and, intuition. I, like, try to ignore it, and the times I've ignored it, I've been like, for God's sake, and try and get out of the muck that I've got myself into. So, yeah, those would be mine.
Thank you.
Be authentic, be curious, create from vulnerability.
I would say a big one for me has been forgiveness. Just forgiving myself and forgiving other people for things that they've done or things that I think that they've done is actually detrimental to you to hold on to any feelings that are negative. It doesn't affect the other person. It only ever affects yourself. So forgiving yourself and forgiving everyone else around you is just a really great way of progressing forward in your personal life, which will then allow you to move forward with your career. I would say never give up for me, the times when I've just felt like I'm not going to get to that next step where I want to get to, and when I've been ready to just let it all go, those are the times when I've just surrendered the most, and those are the times every time when something amazing has happened. So just don't give up. If you feel like you're going to, it leads to my other one, which is just ask for help. Again, with what Paola was saying, mentors are so important. I have sort of 3 to 4 different mentors, all different ages, different races, that can give you a different perspective on what it is that you want to do. And don't be afraid to ask for help, because that's something that I felt so proud about. Like, okay, I should be doing this, and I don't want to ask anyone for help because I don't ever want to appear vulnerable. And then I just started to go into myself, and it's very, very damaging. So ask for help if you need it. Don't be afraid to just put your hand up and say, I don't know what to do next.
Love more, because the world needs more of it. In everything, choose to do things out of love. I feel like love is the answer. 2, trust. Trust yourself, trust your journey, and trust that intuition. 3, liberation. Liberate yourself if it means cutting off your hair, quitting that job, getting out that relationship, doing whatever your heart says or feels right. Liberate yourself.
I think I said this before, like don't chase money, just figure out what makes you happy and do that. Everything else will fall into place. Be open. I think a lot of people here have said they meditate. I meditate. I think a lot of people look at it like, what kind of weird shit are you doing? It's like, but it's so beneficial and helpful, so just be open to new things. And the third one, I have forgotten. I think just support each other, and like don't think that people aren't going to help you. I think I mean, from what I've come across, like especially working in music, like someone mentioned, she said so. There's so many communities like that. They're always kind of supporting each other, and I was surprised to see how many women were coming together to help each other, because people always have this image of women being really competitive and not helping each other, or being like, I don't want to talk to you, or you're going to take my job, or any of that. So I think, yeah, just be supportive.
I think I've only got 2 because they've all been taken. The main thing would be, when I realised what intuition meant, is to be taught from within. So when that gut feeling is not a joke, there is an eye here. You need it. If you literally are walking somewhere and something says go that way, trust it all the way. You won't go wrong. And honestly, every time I procrastinate, doubt, talk rubbish in my head, just do it. Always comes to mind. I wing everything. Absolutely everything is a wing. There is, honest to God, like everything. So honest, when you're sitting there and you're thinking, right, how to just do it, just literally jump and go, and then everything will appear from nowhere. So yeah, I'd say trust yourself and go for it, basically. Just do it.
Well, can I share 3 things as well? Breathe. We have to remind ourselves to breathe wherever we are. And I think it's absolutely necessary for us to take time out and go and do that in the garden, which is wherever you are. Surround yourself in nature. But children teach us so much about ourselves. There's so much innocence and honesty and just raw emotion when it comes to children. Just even if you don't have a child, go find some of these children. Don't, obviously don't do anything dodgy. I'm just saying, just observe children honestly. Even if it's on the train, have a conversation with a child. I'm serious. No, I'm
Honestly,
serious.
The Secret Life of 3 and 4-year-olds.
No, I didn't
Watch
mean it like
that. Secret Life of 3 and 4-year-olds, 5-year-olds, and 6-year-olds.
Honestly, it's
Watch
beautiful. Children teach you so much. But one of the things I wanted to say is there's these beautiful young ladies sitting at the back over there and over here and at the back. Where are you? So can I name some names? I just want to say some thank yous, because I've learned in the past week, I've learned so much from these beautiful young women who are apprentices and interns, and my friend's daughter and my housemate and my little sister here, who, I couldn't have done this without. And I think it's, no matter how old you are, there's always somebody around you who can teach you so much about yourself. Just being open to hearing it, however it may come out, listen to it. Thank you, everybody, my panellists. fantastic Dreamtek team, Wincy, Viacom, Tim and the team. Honestly, I couldn't have done this without any of you lot. Big up all of you. Thank you. Oh, by the way, this is the first one. There's going to be many more. I'm just saying. So, no. Before we leave, I'd love for you lot to follow us online. We're obviously going to be posting lots of content, but I'd love your feedback. If there's, you have something you want to share, email us, tweet us, whatever. I'd love to hear it. Thank you.